In the ancient land of Macedonia, there was once a boy named Alexander. His father was King Philip, and his mother, Queen Olympias, told Alexander tales of heroes and gods, and whispered that he was destined for greatness. Alexander wasn't just any kid. By the time he was 12, he tamed a wild horse no one else could ride, naming it Bucephalus. He learned about stars, numbers, and battles, and his teacher was none other than the famous philosopher Aristotle. When Alexander turned 20, something tragic happened. His father passed away. Suddenly, Alexander was the king. He looked at the maps of the world and decided he wanted to know what was beyond his kingdom. So, he gathered a huge army and set off on an adventure that would make him a legend. He led his soldiers across lands far and wide. They climbed over tall mountains, trudged through hot deserts, and fought giant armies. People were amazed by how brave and smart Alexander was. Wherever he went, he didn't just conquer. He also built new cities and spread ideas. One of his biggest battles was against a mighty king called Darius of Persia. Alexander and his army used their brains and bravery to win, even though the other army was way bigger. After that, Alexander became known as the Great, a great leader and warrior. Alexander kept traveling east, wanting to reach the edge of the world. But his soldiers were tired and missed their families after 13 years of conquest. So they asked if they could go home. Alexander said yes, and on their way back, he got sick and suddenly died. He was only 32 years old. Even though he was no longer there, the stories of Alexander the Great spread all over the world. He built one of the biggest empires ever, and people still tell stories about his adventures. He showed that with courage and cleverness, even a boy from a small kingdom could become great. Thanks for watching. See you in our next adventure.